It's time to cook with Susan Beck. And boy, oh boy, the cucumbers are still coming in. The garden is producing well, even into late summer, early fall here in September. All right, so we're going to make some cucumber salad today. And I previously made a more traditional cucumber salad on my YouTube channel where you use the vinegar and the sugar and a little celery seed, maybe throw some onions and green peppers in there. Well, today we're going to make a Japanese cucumber salad, and we're going to mix it up a little because, after I've made that all summer long, I'm ready for something new. We're going to garnish it with some sesame seeds. We're going to use some rice wine vinegar, some red pepper, some sesame oil, a little touch of honey in this. Now, it is optional whether you want to peel your cucumbers or not. When I make refrigerator pickles, and that's another recipe that I have on my YouTube channel that you can check out as well, I usually do not peel them. But when I make a cucumber salad that I'm going to eat more quickly, like right away, or even, the same day, then I usually do peel my cucumbers. So, that one's kind of small. Let's pick another nicer sized one here. So I'm going to peel 2 cucumbers today and slice these thinly. And then we'll make a little dressing and we'll toast the sesame seeds. And this is going to be so great to just have a little different taste to our cucumber salad. Now, those refrigerator pickles, those I usually wait, close to a month before I start eating those. Those last, they say on my recipe that I was given, 2 years in the refrigerator. I've never tested that out to see if they really last that long, but that's what I've been told. And in terms of the cucumber salads, I usually try to eat that up within a week. So we're going to slice these nice and thin. So I'll kind of cut slowly here. And then we are going to put these into a colander with a little salt on them to draw out some of the extra moisture. Now that these are all sliced, we're going to put them into a colander and we're going to sprinkle them with a little salt that will help to bring out some of the excess water and moisture. So I'm just going to put 1 teaspoon of salt on those and just kind of toss that around. And we're going to let these cucumbers sit for 10 minutes. And while those sit and rest and maybe drain out some liquid out of the bottom of our colander here in a little bit, we will work on our dressing. I've got a clove of garlic here and this wonderful silicone roller that if I put my garlic in there, just kind of roll it back and forth. And then I end up with all of my papery covering gone and just the edible good part. Little rough end there I'm going to get rid of. And I'm going to mince up my garlic for our dressing. So this is a different ingredient too. We don't usually use garlic in those more traditional cucumber salads. So, I love garlic. So I'm looking forward to this. I can smell it. We grow garlic in our garden. We actually plant that in October, like right before it freezes, and harvest our scapes in late June, and then harvest the garlic starting in July. And love, 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 love the garlic. Now, I have a video also on my YouTube channel about growing garlic and what to do with those garlic scapes. So I'll post some of those links in the description below. All right, into our bowl for our salad dressing, we're going to start with 1 clove of garlic. Let's add 2 tablespoons of rice wine vinegar. Now, you could use cider vinegar, regular vinegar, or whatever you have, but the rice wine vinegar makes it a little bit more of that Japanese taste. I'm going to put in a 1/4 teaspoon of red pepper flakes, and I'm going to put in, let's grab my teaspoon from the salt, 1 teaspoon of sesame oil, and 1 teaspoon of honey for a little bit of sweetness. All right, grab my whisk and just whisk that all together. All right, we'll maybe give it a little stir when we're ready to pour it on too, because sometimes the oil and the vinegar separates with those different densities. Okay, the last thing we're going to do while those cucumbers finish soaking in the salt is we're going to toast some sesame seeds. So we're going to put in, oh, a teaspoon or so. Oh, that's a lot. All right. Got like 1 teaspoon of sesames just for a nice little crunch on top. Now, toasting these is completely optional, but when you toast sesame seeds or nuts, it's just amazing how just a different flavor comes out, just a much more earthy, hearty, delicious taste. So off to the stovetop we go. I'm going to turn my burner to between medium and medium high and set my sesame seeds in the skillet on top of that heat. I'll stir them every once in a while. Now notice that's just plain sesame seeds. I did not put any oil or anything in there. There's lots of oil when you roast these already naturally in these seeds. I don't know if you can tell this by the video, but these are starting to get just a little brown. So I'm going to remove them from the heat. I also want to remove them from my pan right away because they're going to keep cooking if I leave them in that hot pan. Oh, I think you can definitely tell now that I got them out that they are definitely a little more brown than white, but they're going to have a nutty, great taste. Well, when I look in my calendar, I really do have some moisture down in the bottom there, and I'm just going to put these cucumbers that have been sitting. It's probably been about 10 minutes by the time I've taken care of the dressing and the toasted sesame seeds, and of course when I video, it always slows my cooking down a little bit. But oh yeah, I can pour some water right off there. But I'm just going to set them onto some paper towels here and let those absorb a little bit more of the water. Now this is a small recipe. I don't know, I could probably feed 3 or 4 people. So we've got our beautiful sliced cucumbers in here. I'm just going to take that whisk again and just mix that back together a little more and put it into the bowl. A rubber spatula will help me to get out the rest of that. We'll let those chill for 15 minutes and then we'll eat them with our toasted sesame seeds. Well, there are our chilled cucumbers with that dressing on the bottom there. And we're just going to put those toasted sesame seeds over the top of that. I'm going to serve these for supper tonight, but you know, I'm just going to have to taste a couple before then. You know, my favorite part about these is how they taste so different than the other sliced cucumbers that I usually make. And you know, I love the recipe I usually make, but it's always fun to try something different. And I don't know, I can really tell like that sesame oil and that rice wine vinegar in there just gives it a totally different taste than the regular vinegar and having sugar. This does have a hint of sweetness again with that honey, but not nearly as sweet as the other. And I don't know, it really does have like a little oriental taste to it. So try some Japanese cucumber salad and be sure to subscribe to Time to Cook with Susan Beck and check the description below for some other great recipes I mentioned in today's video. And then we're going to top that all